like to thank all of these guys for getting up early after being at the Met Gala last night. I know you're all out there. Is that what you were? Dressed in your best last night. I know who was definitely there. Brian Windhorst seems like a Met Gala kind of guy. The Windman was unquestionably out there. Who are we kidding? We were all at the Garden last night for Game 1 of Round 2. The Sixers and the Knicks in the world's most famous arena. 10th all-time playoff matchups. And the first quarter, Jay Williams was completely owned by Jalen Brunson.
And Jalen Brunson just absolutely dissected the 76ers in pick and roll. And whenever Joel Embiid was in drop coverage, he had a field day with it.
All this is in the first quarter, Jay.
Bucket. Once again, so probably the best guard in the NBA at attacking angles off high pick and rolls.
Finding space, finding his three. Brunson puts the Knicks up 8 going to the second quarter. He had 14. And then Michael Wilbon watched Karl Anthony Towns going right to the hole.
He was not indecisive on that particular play.
Going right at Cat. Now, Alan, here's a big moment. Keep a close eye on JWill Embiid. You're wondering why is he down and holding himself like that? We're going to show you exactly why, as he's going to take an elbow to the chops, or the gut, I guess I should say, from Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, it's not a game if Joel Embiid isn't in pain in some way or another, as we've seen a lot throughout his career, but he looked glacially slow in this game.
Knicks, meanwhile, looked awfully fast. That's Brunson with another bucket, put the Knicks up 18. We're still in the first half. The lead is 16. It's Brunson again. Now it's 19. And then the final play of the first half.
Oh, this was beautiful.
24
basketball.
points right here.
Money.
27.
27 for Brunson. Look at Spike Lee fired up, plus the guy from SVU. Knicks up 23.
Elliot Stabler. Come on now, Greeny.
I was looking for.
Favorite show. Yeah.
Early third quarter, Sixers down 23. And now we're turning defense into offense. Okay, OG. Anunoby. Knicks by 25.
Forced 19 turnovers last night.
7 minutes left. Karl Anthony Towns. He would score 17. Brunson would score 35. Knicks run away and hide. They are on a streak for the ages. Let's talk about that. The Knicks have been playing basketball now for 80 years. Their 2 largest playoff wins have now come in the last 5 days. 51 points and now 39 points. And over the last 4 games, they're winning by an average of 33 points. That is the largest by any team in any 4-game span in NBA playoff history. And JWill, what is the first thing you said to me when I saw you this morning?
In my 18 years of doing television, I've never said this, but like last night, I thought was the best I've ever seen the Knicks look, and they felt like they were a team that can win an NBA championship. I've never said that about the Knicks before. I've never seen their ceiling both offensively and defensively as I saw last night. Now, I know quick turnaround for the 76ers. I know Joel Embiid, like you said, glacial pace on the floor. But that was also due to the strategy and scheme of Mike Brown and the way they played defensively. 19 turnovers, shot the heck out of the basketball. The way they moved him from side to side, it was the most impressive performance of the season.
When I got on my Acela train last night from Washington to come to New York, so many Knicks fans on the train, Mike. And I'm not a betting man. You can't find a betting commercial ad for me anywhere. I said Knicks by 30 minimum. More than one thing can be true, and I agree with everything Jay just said, but the 76ers were right, and you knew it. It's a game the Knicks had to win. They needed to win it big. They were going to win it big. It's the one game in that series where the Sixers had no chance. I got to Penn Station at halftime. I had a credential. I could have gone upstairs. It was plus 23. I'm like, no, I'm going to just go check in and watch SVU maybe. So, yes, the Knicks looked great. I don't know what it meant. Like, I get the package. I get the fact that they're playing really well. They had no resistance last night. We'll find out if they get any Wednesday. I suspect they will.
Windman, how about it?
So 2 Fridays ago, there was a situation where the Hawks were ahead in that series 2-1. And the Knicks had a film session, light workout in Atlanta. I don't know what happened in that film session, but they need to memorialize it because ever since then, they have been a completely different team. Their unity, their activity level, their togetherness has been markedly improved. Even as I talked to people in Atlanta, they said something happened at the start of Game 4. The team that showed up for Game 4 was different than the team that played the first 3 games in that series. It was as if a beast was awoken. And these last 4 games, The Knicks have been incredible, specifically offensively. 4 straight blowouts, 4 straight examples of tremendous execution. They had such a good game plan yesterday to attack Joel Embiid, and they came out with exact energy and in following the game plan, everybody straight down the line. If they continue to play like this, the sky is the limit.
This is what happened in that meeting, is the players talked about the time is now and understanding the time is now. For a group that has played a lot of basketball together and has gone through the ups and downs and has had games like last night, we've been on the other side. We've been the tired team that got run over. We know what that feels like. We have to now be the team that runs a team over. We've been the team that didn't close out a game that they needed to close out to extend a series. We've got to be the team that closes it out. Josh Hart explained it like this. You're playing a video game and you're kind of laid back watching and playing your game and you're losing, and you lean forward in your chair and you get a little closer to the TV and you start focusing a little more, and that's what this team has done. They have locked in, understanding that the opportunity for this team, this group, is right now.
There's some things they could take advantage of, and if they have that meeting, which they did, and they came to this realization at that point, all right, and we saw signs of it in Game 3. We saw signs of it in Game 3. There were hints this would come. Boston was goofing around and doing whatever the Celtics wound up doing, right? Mm-hmm. You've got an Eastern Conference where nobody can really take control. I mean, Cleveland may be a real match for them. Detroit, we know, crushed the Knicks in all 3 meetings. We'll get back to that later. But the Knicks are a substantially different team now than the team that Detroit trashed.
Can I say 3 things very quickly?
Yes.
Number 1, shout out to Mike Brown for the strategy offensively on what the game plan was last night.
Which was what? Explain.
Well, it's just like they started Cat at the 5. There was a lot more off-the-ball action movement. They forced Joel Embiid out on the perimeter. Karl-Anthony Towns had 2 fouls early. Mitchell Robinson came in. Shout out number 2 to Jalen Brunson, who attacked off ball screens. Every time that, Joel Embiid was in drop coverage, Jalen Brunson diced it up. And 3, but most importantly, shout out to Karl-Anthony Towns.
Yep.
Like St. Joseph's High School, Metuchen, New Jersey, my high school. I'm saying it, best player to come out of St. Joseph's High School, Metuchen. And last night, you said it, Mike, indecisive, attack mode. There was no thinking. There was no second guessing. Because Joel Embiid had to move around, when he caught the ball, it was catch, shoot, catch, attack. And that's the type of player you need Cat to be.
And to build off of what Michael said about Game 1, you're coming off of Game 7 for the Sixers. This was the time to jump on them. They had 1 day to cram and figure out this new offense. They haven't played each other since February 11th. So 2 different teams, right? But you also have to think, if you're the Sixers, you can't wait to get to Game 2. If you're the Knicks, you can't wait to get to Game 2 because you want to see, is this for real? These last couple of games, is this really what we've got?
The other thing that the Knicks have done, and I think we've been touching on it here, but let's dive into it. Winman, I'll start with you because you've been around, the league at large for years, and in particular watch Golden State play. The Knicks, it feels to me, have completely changed the way they play offense, and they almost seem to do it like that. It's like in Game 3 of the Atlanta series, we play the same offense that we've always played, which is basically Jalen Brunson dribbling the air out of the ball and then finding a way to make a basket, and if not, they work it to someone else and they get a shot at the end of the shot clock. Versus all of a sudden in the last 4 games, everyone is moving. I think it has to do with Towns controlling the ball as much as he has been. But whatever it is, I'm not comparing them to the Warriors because the Warriors did that probably better than anyone we've ever seen. But it has a little bit of a taste of that, and I feel like that's a big factor here.
Well, what they're really doing right now really well is get into what they call early offense, where they flow right from defense and they run right into a play. A lot of times when the Knicks were at their worst, the ball literally 20 times in a possession, and they would wait to get into their offense. Now they're way more active in getting into it. Now, let's be honest. It was still a lot of Jalen Brunson pick and roll last night. But Jalen Brunson has dominated the 76ers in the playoffs. I think he's averaging close to 40 points against them over the last 7 games they've played. So that is a good strategy. But when they don't have Brunson, doing that, they've been going to Karl Towns. And Karl Towns is running sets and systems and a high post offense like we saw Draymond Green. Not exactly the same. I don't want to say they're the same player, but some of the same stuff that you saw the Warriors run when Mike Brown was there, they are now running involving Karl Towns.
Does it remind you of that, Michael?
Yeah,
Do you think we're seeing a little bit of that?
The Cat and Draymond analogy is fine. Wendy, I don't think you're overstating that at all. No, he's not doing it at the same volume, But when you see, I mean, first of all, just the patience, the look. I mean, there were a couple of backdoor cuts that you thought, yes, you're watching Draymond Green get this to Steph or Clay on the move, early offense. So yes, I don't think that's overstated. Question is, what's Philly going to do about it?
How do you stop
Well,
it?
I can tell you one thing. When Karl-Anthony Towns has the ball at the top of the key, you're not going to play with your hands down anymore, considering he's making passes right over the top. You got to be active out there. And on those ball screens, you got to find some way if you're JWill Embiid. Look, this whole series is going to test the endurance of JWill Embiid. Physically, mentally, defensively, because he's going to be in constant action.
So I want to ask you to sort of wrap up just this part of the conversation. We got all morning to dive into all of these games. I'm not letting this crew get away from me for 1 second today. But I remember last Friday, I said to you, if you gave the Knicks truth serum and asked them who do they want to play, you said Boston because they're built to beat Boston.
Yeah.
I know that last night is maybe an outlier game for all the reasons that Michael outlined. But as I looked at the matchups last night, it felt favorable